Write down a multiple of 9 between 30 and 40. So the multiples of 9 are 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, and there are many more. So a multiple which is between 30 and 40 is 36. Write down a factor of 100 between 11 and 30. So the factors of 100 are 1 and 100, 2 and 50, 4 and 25, 10 and 10. Well, the factor which is between 11 and 30 is 25. Work out 7 plus minus 5. So a negative number getting added to another number is as good as saying you're taking away 5 from 7 here. The answer is 2. 26 times 6. So 26 is multiplied to 6 to get the product. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 2s is 12 plus 3 is 15. So the product here is 156. 1648 getting divided by 8. So I'm using long division here. 8 goes in 16 2 times. And then we take 4. But since it's lesser than 8, I have to take another number, the next number here. So 8 goes in 48 6 times. 8 6 is 48. So the answer is 206. 4.78 is getting added to 5.3. So the sum of these two decimals. So make sure you align the decimals properly. So there is a 5 and a 3. I'm putting a 0 in the empty spot. So there is 8. So when you add them, we have 8. 7 plus 3 is 10. Then there is carry 1. 5 plus 1, 6 plus 4 is 10. So the answer is 10.08. The vertical line chart shows the rainfall in millimeters in March and April. Write down the rainfall in March. So we have these months and the rainfall is given here. So the height for each of these months tells you the rainfall in that particular month. So in the month of March, there is like between 30 and 40 is 35. So the rainfall is 35 millimeters. In May, there was 55 millimeters of rainfall. Complete the vertical line chart for the month of May. So 55 millimeters has to be somewhere in between 60 and 50. So here we have to draw a vertical line here. Let me choose a thickness so that it matches the other vertical lines. So it goes in like this. Fine. All right. And then work out the total rainfall for March, April, and May. So the total rainfall for March, April, and May is 35 plus 70, and this is 55. So when I add them all together, I get 10, 11 plus 5 is 16, 160 millimeters. Here is a rectangle. The length and the width are given. We have to find the area of the rectangle. Area is the length times width. 6/4 is 24 centimeters square. Complete each statement. 35 kilograms is equal to how many grams? So we know in 1 kilogram we have 1000 grams. So to go from kilograms to grams, we are moving into we have to make this bigger quantity to a smaller one. We times it with 1000. So 35,000 grams are there in 35 kilograms. 203 milliliters is equivalent to how many liters? So we know 1 liter has got 1000 milliliters. So to go from milliliters to liters, that is the smaller quantity to a bigger quantity, we have to, from smaller unit to a bigger unit, we divide by 1000 here. So the answer is 0.203. 4 square centimeters is how many square millimeters? So 1 centimeter has got 10 millimeters. But since there is square centimeters and square millimeters, so 1 centimeter square will have 10 square, which is 100 millimeter square. So to go from centimeters to millimeters, we times it with this value. So the answer is 400 square millimeters. A train travels 90 km at an average speed of 40 km per hour. Work out the time taken for this journey. Give your answer in hours and minutes. So we have the distance and the speed. We know this formula which connects the speed, distance and time. So when we have the distance and speed, to find time, you need to divide distance by speed. So time is distance, which is 90, divided by the speed, 40. So 90 over 40 is 9/4, which is 4 goes in 9 2 times. Then we have 2.25 hours. Now this is the time in hours. It wants it in hours and minutes. So we already have 2 hours, but how many minutes? 0.25 hours. If you have to convert it into minutes, you need to times it by 60. So that is 6 5s is 30. So we have 0 here. 6 5s 30. 6 2s is 12. Plus 3 is 15. So we have like 15 minutes. 15 minutes. So the answer is 2 hours and 15 minutes. There are 16 coins in a bag. 6 5p coins, 2 10p coins and 8 20p coins. The diagram shows a probability scale. We have the probability scale between 0 and 1, where 0 represents the impossible events and 1 shows that it's a certain event. It's for sure it's going to happen. And all the other probabilities are in between them. 1 coin is taken at random from the bag. Which arrow shows the probability that the coin has a value less than 1 pound? Now here we see all the coins we have, which is like 10p coin, 5p, 10p and 20p. Each of them has a value less than 1 pound. So if you are picking up a coin at random from the bag, the probability that it will be less than 1 pound coin is for sure to happen. Any coin you pick, it will be less than 1 pound. So the probability is like, its probability will be 1, which corresponds to the letter F. What is the probability that it is a 20p coin? How many 20p coins are there? There are 8. So 8 out of total, how many coins are there? There are total 16 coins. So it's like 8 over 16 is half. The probability is half. So half is 0.5, which is for the letter E. What is the probability that it is a 50p coin? Have we got any 50p coins? We don't have any 50p coins. So taking a 50p coin is an impossible event. So the probability will be 0, for which the letter is A. Now more coins are added to the 16 coins already in the bag. 1 coin is taken at random from the bag. The probability of the coin being a 5p, a 10p or a 20p are now equal. Find the minimum number of coins that must be in the bag. Now there are already 16 coins, of which 6 are 5p, 2 10p and 8 20p coins we have. So now they say that we add few more coins to the bag, so that now the probability of picking any of these coins is equal. So that means that we need to have equal number of coins for all these for all these values. So when can I have like the minimum number of coins must be, find the minimum number of coins that must be in the bag. So we can make them all equal to 8 because this is already 8. If I make this 10p coins also equal to 8, then I need to add 6 more coins to it, and I need to add 2 more 5p coins to get 8 5p coins. Now I have each of them 8 coins. So there are 8 5p coins, 8 10p and 8 20p. Drawing any coin from this has got the equal probability. So the minimum number of coins now are 8 plus 8 plus 8, that is 24. Work out 1/3 getting added to 2 sevenths. Now here we see we need to make the denominator same. They don't have any common number in between. There is no common factor for them. So in that case, you need to times the first fraction by 7 and the second fraction by 3. So that I have a common denominator now, which is 7 threes is 21. And the numerator will be 7 times 1 is 7. And I'm directly writing this step. 2 threes is 6. So 7 getting added to 6 is 13. The answer is 13 over 21. Work out 5/8 times 7/10. Give your answer in its simplest form. So here you can multiply the numerator to the numerator and denominator to the denominator, or you can simplify first and then get the answer. So simplifying, there is 5 in the numerator and 10 in the denominator, which can be reduced. So 5 goes in 10 two times here. So now I have 7 ones is 7 over 8 twos is 16. Now I cannot simplify this further. So 7 over 16 is the answer. A sequence is generated using the rule multiply the previous term by 3 and then subtract 1. So let the previous term be n, multiply it by 3 and then subtract 1. So this has to be the rule of the sequence. The second term of the sequence is 20. Find the third term. So the previous term for the third term is second term, which is 20. So I replace n by 20. So 3 times 20, take away 1, should give me the third term. So 3 20s is 60, take away 1 gives me 59, which is the third term. Find the first term of the sequence. Now we have the second term is 20, but we don't know what is the preceding term. So to find the preceding term, which like if you substitute that preceding term in place of n, then I get its value equals to 20 in this rule. But I don't know what that term is. So that's exactly what we need to figure out. So how can we do that? Here we need to equate this to 20. That means this rule gives you the output 20. You need to figure out the input here, that is the value of n. Okay, so 3n is, you add 1 to on both sides to get 21 and then divide by 3 to get n is 21 over 3. So 3 goes in 21 7 times. So the answer is 7. The first term of the sequence has to be 7, and then you times it with 3 and take away 1 to get 20 as the second term, and then we have this third term 59. Here are the first 4 terms of a different sequence. Find the nth term of the sequence. Now we see the terms of the sequence here are 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, they all are the multiples of 5. So the nth term has to be something like 5n. 5 ones is 5, 5 twos is 10, 5 threes is 15. So n can take any value from 1 and it goes on. So the nth term here is 5n. 80 students each choose 2 activities, one from option A and one from option 2. This frequency tree shows the number of students choosing some of the activities. So we have like option A, for there are total 80 students. which is, who chooses either football or hockey, and from them we have like athletics or gym, multi gym, and for hockey as well we have these two sports. Now, how many more students choose hockey and multi-gym rather than football and multi-gym? So we don't know all the this missing information, but we have this thing given here. People who choose football and then take multi-gym are 12, and those who choose hockey and multi-gym are 14. So how many more have chosen this route than the one which is given above? So there are two more students. So 14 take away 12 is 2. 10 more students choose football rather than hockey. Complete the frequency tree. So now we don't know how many students choose football or hockey, but there is this hint given that 10 more students choose football than hockey. So suppose if there are X number of students who choose hockey, the number of students who choose football will be X plus 10. And we know that the sum of these two has to be 80. So X plus 10 plus X, so this and this added together has to be 80. So that's, if I solve this equation, X plus X is 2X, plus 10 is 80. Then take away 10 from both sides to get 2X is 70. From this I get X is divide by 2 on both sides to get 35. So X is 35. Then, so the number of hockey, the students who choose hockey are 35. Then the football, then the one who chooses football will be 10 more than this. So 35 plus 10 has to be 45. Now from 45, there are 12 who choose multi-gym. How many will choose athletics? So 45 take away 12 will give me the number of students who will choose the athletics. Similarly, for the students who will choose athletics choosing this route going via hockey, so there are 35 total. From that, 14 choose multi-gym. So if you take away 14 from this, you get 21 choosing the athletics. The table shows charges made by a gas company to its customers. The cost per day is 27p plus cost per unit of gas used is 8p. The owner of a flat receives a gas bill covering a period of 100 days. They have used 7,000 units of gas in this period. Show that their bill is £587. So it's 27p per day and they have used it for 100 days. And the cost per unit of gas is 8p and they have used 7,000 units. So the total cost by the end of 100 days has to be like all this added together. So 27p for 100 days will be 27 times 100 plus 8p for 7,000 units. So 8p is for 1 unit. For 7,000 units, it will be 8 times 7,000. So this will be 27 times 100 is 2700 plus 8 sevens is 56,000. So when I add them, and this is 27, make sure they all align properly. So this will give me 587,100 and this is in P. We need to convert it back to pounds. So you divide by 100 to get 587 pounds. So I have shown that the cost by the end of 100th day is 587 pounds. The owner of a house is supplied a gas by a different gas company. The cost per day is 25p. They use 10,000 units of gas in 100 days. Their bill covering the period of 100 days is 975 pounds. Work out the cost per unit of gas used, giving your answer in pence. So again, we can use a similar method of doing this, but here we don't know how much is the cost per unit of gas, and that's what we need to figure out. So they say the cost per day is 25p and they used it for they used 10,000 units for 100 days. So for 100 days, 1 day cost was 25p. For 100 days, it will be 25 times 100. Plus, they have used 10,000 units and we don't know the cost per unit. So let that be U times 10,000. So now this is equal to 975 pounds. So 975 pounds, since I'm using all the values in terms of P, I'm converting this also in P. So this will be 2500 plus 10,000 U is 97500. So I take away 25 from both sides. So this will be 10,000 U equals 97500. Take away 2500. This will give me 7. Take away 2 is 5. So 95,000. So for 10,000 units cost 95,000 pence. Then 1 unit will cost 95,000 divided by 10,000. So the 3 zeros cancels out. 95 divided by 10 is 9.5p. It wants the answer in pence, so we got it as 99.5p. The triangle A is drawn on the grid below. Enlarge triangle A by scale factor 2 with center of enlargement 0, 1. Label the image as B. So we need to enlarge this shape by a scale factor of 2. In other words, we have to make a double, we need to transform it to a shape which is double in its size. So starting from the center of enlargement, which is 0, 1, that is here, I need to consider each and every point on this shape and see how they will be enlarged by a scale factor of 2. So now considering this point, okay, let me use another color here. So considering this point, it's 2 units away from the center. Now, when you use the scale factor times 2, it will be now 4 units away. So this point is transformed here. What about this point? It is 3 units up and 2 units to the right. So 3 units up will be now 6 units up and 4 units to the right. Now it will be here. And the third point will be, this is like 2 units away, so it will be like 4 units away from here. It's going to be here. So now when I join them, the transformed shape looks something like this. Well, something like this, and then I can label this as the shape, as the image of A as B. Now complete the description of single transformation that maps triangle B back to triangle A. Now here it says that initially we used shape A as the original shape, which is being transformed to shape B. Now for part B, it wants you to consider shape B as the original shape and what will be the kind of transformation it has undergone so that it went to shape B, A. So here from B to A, it has been reduced by a scale factor, by some scale factor. Initially, it was enlarged by a scale factor of 2. Now it will be enlarged by a scale factor of half. Because every side, like 6 units, is being reduced to 3 units. So it has undergone a reduction of 2 like scale factor by half. But the center of enlargement will remain same. So that will be 0, 1 only. A spinner has 5 sides numbered 1 to 5. If the spinner is fair, the probability that it lands on the number 1 is 0.2. A student spins the spinner 300 times. Assuming the spinner is fair, use the information to work out how many times the spinner is expected to land on the number 1. So, to land on number 1, the probability is null point 2. If the student is spinning it for 300 times, you need to times it by 300. So, it's like null point 2 times 300, which should be so this will be 6, so that's 60. Null point 2 times 300 gives you 60. So the spinner will land on number 1 60 times when the student is spinning it for 300 times. The spinner actually landed on the number 1 on 58 of the 300 spins. Decide whether or not the result suggests this spinner is likely to be a fair spinner. Give a reason to your answer. Well, to the part A, what we calculated was a theoretical probability. So here we assume that this should be the ideal case. This is theoretical probability. So not theory, theoretical probability. But the thing we are getting in the part B is the experimental, the actual probability when the student has actually spinned it for 300 times. So this is matching very closely to the theoretical probability. So I would say that yes, the spinner seems to be is likely to be a fair spinner because the theoretical probability and the experimental one matches very closely. 58 and 60 are very close numbers. So I would say that it's a fair spinner. So decide or not. So yes, I would say yes, it is fair because the experimental probability which is 58 is close to the theoretical one, which is 60.